It was around 2 o'clock at night. Thunder rolled at night. Thunder rolled across the sky, and heavy rain poured down. At the edge of the village stood an old, broken house, the one people said no one had ever come back alive from. The air was thick with moisture, mud covered the ground, and in the flashes of lightning, tree shadows twisted into eerie shapes. The village elders would often warn the children, "A shadow lives in that house and it hates the light. Whoever goes inside never returns." One day, a young man named Zulekha, who had come from the city, stubbornly declared he would spend one night in that house. Everyone tried to stop him, but he laughed. "Jinns, ghosts, these are just stories. I'll see what's so scary in there." The villagers exchanged uneasy glances. Old Ramat Chacha said seriously, "Son, that house wakes up at night. Only those who are called go there." Rehan smiled. "Then it will definitely call me." That evening, carrying a lantern, he walked toward the house. The rain had stopped, but the air felt heavy, as if someone was holding their breath and watching him. He pushed the door open. It creaked slowly on its own, as if welcoming him. He stepped inside. The room was dark, damp, and filled with a strange, rotting smell. Water dripped from the ceiling. Old pictures hung on the walls, faded, dusty, yet the eyes in them seemed alive. He raised his lantern to see better. Suddenly he heard footsteps upstairs, faint but clear. "Who's there?" he called out. No answer. He followed the sound up the broken staircase. Each wooden step groaned under his feet. At the top was a large room, scattered furniture, a shattered mirror, and bloodstains on the wall, as if someone had scratched words with their nails. He brought the lantern closer and read, "You will not leave." A sudden gust of wind blew in and the lantern went out. Darkness swallowed him. His heart pounded. Footsteps again. Not from below, but right behind him. He turned around, nothing. Only the chill of a cold breath brushed across his face. Then a whisper echoed, "Rehan." He froze. Tried to relight the lantern, but the match slipped from his shaking hand. Now instead of footsteps, he heard a jingling thumb like anklets dragging on the floor. A mist began to form, thick and white. From it emerged a womanoi. Her wet hair clung to her pale face and blood dripped from her eyes. Her feet didn't touch the ground. She stared straight at him. "Why have you come here?" Her voice was soft yet echoing. Rehan backed away but the wall stopped him. The woman slowly moved closer. "I told you, whoever comes here never leaves." He screamed and ran toward the door, but it wouldn't open. He pushed harder. It wouldn't even budge. Then came soft sobs from the walls. His phone screen lit up by itself, but the face on it wasn't his own. It was hers, the same woman inside his phone. The camera started recording automatically, and a voice said, "I won't let you leave." Rehan screamed and dropped the phone. In the darkness, only his cries and the woman's cold laughter filled the house. The next morning, villagers found the house silent. The door stood open. Nothing inside except Rehan's phone lying on the floor. On it was his white last video, the moment he was screaming, "Let me out! Is anyone there?" But at the end of the video, something strange appeared. After Rehan's voice faded, the camera turned by itself toward a corner. And there stood Sat the woman, wearing a gay red dress, smiling. After that, the village fell into silence. No one ever found Rehan's body. But since that night, every night at 2 a.m., people hear laughter from that house. And when anyone dares to go near, the air turns icy cold, as if someone invisible is standing there. Rahmat Chacha gathered the villagers and said, "That's the spirit of a woman who died 100 years ago. Her name was Zulekha. Her husband killed her and buried her body inside these walls. Since then, her shadow has never left." The villagers tried to burn the house down, but the fire died by itself. It went cold. That night, they saw a dark shadow sitting on the roof, its eyes glowing like fire. Later that night, someone saw a man walking in the village street, He looked just like Rayhan, but when they went closer, his face was blank, with black holes instead of eyes. He walked slowly toward the house. The door opened by itself, and then he went inside. Now no one goes there. Every year a traveler disappears. People say Zulekha's spirit is no longer alone. Rayhan is with her. Whoever enters the house joins them. When it rains at night, you can hear someone crying in the wind. And if you listen closely, you can still hear Rayhan's voice. "Let me out!" followed by a woman's laughter. It was another dark night. The rain had stopped, but the same damp cold filled the air, the kind that seeps into your bones. Inside the house, something still moved, or perhaps breathed. The door, which was found open that morning, was now closed again, as if someone had come back inside. Fear deepened on Ramat Chacha's face. He knew Zulekha's spirit didn't only wake at night, it watched during the day too. He gathered a few young men and said, "Tonight we'll see what's really inside." At 11 p.m. they reached the house. The same stench filled the air, like a decaying corpse. For a moment they all froze, then pushed the door open. This time no creak, only silence. Inside, the lantern light fell on the walls, new marks scratched into them. Words written with nails. "Let me go." A boy named Imran stepped forward. This must have been written last night. His voice trembled. Ramat Chacha raised the lantern. Bloodstains trailed up the stairs. They climbed slowly. Each step groaned. At the top, a door opened by itself. Inside was a cracked mirror, and in its reflection, only one face appeared, Rayhan's. His eyes empty, lips blue, and behind him, Zulekha. This can't be real," whispered Imran. The door slammed shut. The lantern went out. Darkness swallowed them. A scream pierced the silence, Imran's. When they managed to relight the lantern, he was gone. Only his burnt shoe lay on the floor. Ramat Chacha's hands trembled. "She took him," he whispered. Someone behind him asked, "Took him? Who?" Suddenly the staircase shook. Something heavy was coming down. They rushed downstairs, and there lay Imran. But he wasn't alive. His eyes were open, his neck twisted, and written in blood on his lips were the words, "I'm with her." Ramat Chacha shouted, "Everyone out!" But the door was sealed shut. Wind roared outside. Windows banged violently. Then came her laughter again. "You came to take him? Go ahead if you dare." The lantern shattered. For a moment, a flicker of light, and they saw Rayhan standing by the wall, smiling. But it wasn't a human smile. His skin peeled, his eyes hollow. "I told you," he said. "No one leaves this place alive." Ramat Chacha began reciting verses from the Quran. The words echoed through the walls. Zulekha screamed. The mirror shook violently. Blood seeped from the walls. The ground trembled. That a house was breathing. They ran, but the door had turned into a wall. Then silence. A silence so deep even their hearts stopped beating. And from within it, a child's voice, one whispered, "Ami, I'm scared." They froze. There was no child there. Ramat Chacha shouted, "It's a trick! Don't listen!" But the voice came closer. "Ami, I'm here." And then, a cold hand touched one boy's shoulder. He turned. Zulekha's face Yidan was inches away. He screamed, but no sound came out. Lightning flashed outside, the windows shattered. When morning came, the house was silent again. The villagers entered. Only Ramat Chacha's half-burnt Quran remained. Everyone else had vanished. Since that day, people call it the House of Darkness. No one goes near. On windy nights, you can still hear crying. And sometimes a man's voice, "Let me out!" And if you ever go near, you'll find the door still open. But whoever steps inside never sees it again. They say that when lightning flashes, a woman can be seen in the window, her hair wet, blood dripping from her eyes, smiling. Behind her stands a dark shadow, Rihan, and on his lips the same words. I told you, no one leaves this place alive.